Welcome back. Thermax posted a mixed set of earnings this time around. The revenues were in line, but the profits have come down significantly below estimates. The margins were also impacted by higher raw material costs, coming in at 7% versus 10% last year. Ashish Bhandari, the MD and CEO at Thermax, joins us now to talk about that. Mr. Bhandari, good morning and thanks for joining us. There are a lot of costs that are piling up on the operational level, not just raw material costs, logistic costs, freight costs, etc. And that has caused your margins to move to single digits now. When do you think you can get back to double-digit margins, and what is the outlook for FY23?
A very warm good morning to all your viewers, and thank you for having me on the show. And you put the nail on the head on the nail in terms of the opportunity that we have, which is a much bigger pipeline that we are seeing. Projects in multiple sectors that we are seeing that we gain confidence for. Our ability to manage our costs was clearly one red flag that we had in Q3. I would like to think that Q3 was different because of a couple of reasons that were beyond our anticipation. First was there was a big run-up in chemical prices in commodities that we, even in this year where a lot of commodities have gone up, we did not see. Yep. So, and many of these are domestic commodities, things like caustic, ethylene dichloride, much of which doubled in their costs and things that we had not seen. The second thing that affected us, especially in that October-November timeframe, was when coal started to become short. Some of our customers shut down their coal plants where we were providing services. But equally importantly, or even more so, the effect on biomass was quite significant, and where we are running multiple biomass plants in the country, there also we had quite a bit of impact on our production. So I would say November overall was much worse than what we expected. We don't mind higher commodity prices. We can manage understanding our costs, pushing back into the market with higher prices. What affected us was the steep increase. That was much faster than what we have anticipated. We see some stability in pricing now. We have ourselves increased our prices to a large extent, both in the chemicals business and prices where we have seen price increases, passed on all the freight increases. So if things stay stable, I do expect improvement in Thermax's numbers to show up as well.
Ashish, good morning. You had a large order inflow in Q3. But it's essentially on account of 2 or 3 very large orders. But then, we are in an economy where there's going to be a lot of focus on capex from here on. The budget also clearly emphasized on that, and we discussed it on budget day. So do you expect this kind of order book to continue, and will you be able to execute it, seamlessly going forward?
So, Anuj, first I would say we had one big order, which was 800 crores. But even if I take that out, we had an order book of 600 crores. Yeah, so everything after that 800 crores, nothing was beyond even 100, 150 crores. So everything else was very much part of our regular business. Last year also, when we did 1,500 crores, we had one large order, which was 320 crores, which also we had announced to the street. So I do think our base volume has moved up reasonably nicely, and now even that base volume is beyond the pre-COVID times. Our focus now is sustaining that base volume and continuing to make sure that that particular business is as profitable as it gets, and that is clearly the first focus here, making sure that our base business is consistent and continues to grow. We do expect bigger orders to show up. Previously, when we were discussing, we had said that new orders in cement and steel are starting to come by, but oil and gas, where a lot of the government projects, the decision making was still a little slow, they are also now coming into the picture. I think as we work to them, we have to make sure that we stick to our profitability numbers. And in cases where we think the projects are dilutive, we will say no to. From a capacity point of view, I think we were at 70-80% capacity utilization. Now that number is going beyond 80%. Certain parts of our business, we are looking to outsource capacity, use lock up third-party supplies, doing that. I don't think capacity is still a concern, though. Yeah, we wouldn't mind more orders.
Okay, so capacity is not a concern. Are you seeing a pickup in private capex, not just for yourself, but for the industry at large? And given that been this big infrastructure thrust by the government in the budget, what kind of orders or what segments do you think you can get fresh orders from?
I think the good thing about Thermax is we cater because we provide utilities and we provide certain critical parts of energy across the spectrum. All the industries that we talk about are in some ways important Thermax customers. Right now, I would say steel and cement, where we are seeing the bad side of the story in terms of how they are affecting, and you were talking about Vedanta and Hindalco and the commodity prices going up in the segment right before mine. They are customers, but on the flip side, we see the impact of their price increases on our bids as well. So I think cement and steel, we are seeing private capex starting to come up. Pharma, food. I don't think the impact of the budget is immediate on the ground. We do expect, as we go later into the next financial year, we expect that impact to show up. It's not apparent immediately, as you would expect. Yeah, this is going to be a gradual increase in private capex, not an immediate jump.
So, Ashish, then let's talk about the next couple of years, because, as I said, we are in an economy where there's going to be a lot of capex. So what kind of revenue number do you think you can see in FY23 or FY24?
I think our backlog should give you some idea now of what that would be. I think based on the trends you're seeing, we should be finishing this financial year with a backlog beyond 8,000 crores, which would be by far the highest that we take into any calendar year going forward. So that alone should give you one sense on what that backlog is. In terms of the change in the company itself or what we are looking to do, as I said, the biggest focus in making sure that our base business, growing services, growing our products business, continuing to make sure that number continues to go up and up and up. Then where it comes to our bigger orders, we see quite a bit of pipeline now developing. And the focus there is completely on things that are green, long-term, waste heat recovery solutions. Thermax is now active in solar OpEx as well, looking at providing solar solutions to industrial, marrying solar storage, pushing biomass, bio-CNG. So there's a whole big shift that is coming in energy. And for Thermax to be able to partner with our customers on that energy story, that's going to drive Thermax for the next couple of years.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thanks a lot for joining us and all the best for the year to come. Looks like it's going to be a year where there's going to be a big thrust on infrastructure by the government. Hopefully, companies like yours will stand to benefit from that. But let's move on. Earlier